transferred.
Okay, I think I figured out what's going wrong here, and it's the fact that I'm trying to stream a YouTube video into the broadcast. And I don't understand why I can't do that, because you're supposed to be able to do that. Like, I'm totally logged in under the right name and everything, but like,
Man
okay.
or woman, he's a
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
mouth binding Nirvana. Let's discuss the element of your dad in this. Yeah. Man or woman, he's a
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, I think we're actually live right now.
Oh, wow. Hey, everybody. Hey.
Wait a minute. Let me try this.
Okay.
Just let me try this and we'll see what happens.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, I think we're actually live right now. Okay, here we go.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
Yeah, it's totally not working with streaming a Facebook a YouTube video for the chat, but we are still live, and we're just gonna fuck this stuff that was gonna be playing on the side. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Now I have echoing.
That's me. Sorry, I'm turning it down.
Oh, okay. Now we're here. Fuck it.
Okay, now I can't even operate a volume switch. Tonight has been laden with problems, so thank you so much for bearing with us.
Yeah, well, we're here.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. Should we just say what movies you're on next week, because we can't show them?
Yeah. I don't know. We were totally like planning on dropping this in your lap as a surprise, but it's not next week, by the way.
Yeah.
It's
the week after.
The week after that. It's going to be February 15th. Jennifer Upton is going to be on, and we're going to do My Bloody Valentine and Just Before Dawn.
Yeah. Which are two movies I'm shocked that we haven't done, but we haven't, so it's good.
I am not letting this go. This is like driving me crazy with these videos.
I'll vamp until we get there.
I feel like we could have everything.
Oh, let's try. Are we
going to
try
have nice things?
Yeah.
Don't we have any say? I had this like cool shit all planned out for you guys.
Let's try it. Here it comes. Let's see if this works. Maybe
it's
we stay like this. It's going to work. I have a good feeling.
No, see, it's not working. Every time I have another video going, it doesn't want to show it.
Now, dumb question. Could I share could you play Facebook on another screen and share your screen like how we do the screen share thing?
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
That's why I'm in marketing. That's a creative director move right there. That's what that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I should have known that.
No. It's okay.
Let's see. Share screen. There we go. And which one is it? Oh, it's this one. There we go. Okay, well, anyway, nothing's happening, so fuck it.
All right, well, we tried. Mike said maybe if we didn't have so many technical issues, then Daddy would have never killed himself because he couldn't get it.
Yeah, she really had a lot of issues. We have to talk about that because, wow, I'm surprised she didn't turn out worse.
Yeah, what'd you guys think anyway in the chat? First off, right? Let's talk about that. Give us your reviews in the chat room of what you thought of Malibu High. and let's dish. I love her. I don't care. This,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, Bill's seen me go through this before. This is the kind of girls I would bring to Bill, and Bill would be like, I think she's going to kill you. And I'm like, yeah, but.
Well, she's mean.
Yeah.
You know?
I like when she says, I may be a hooker, but I'm not a hit girl. And he goes, it's time you graduated.
Yeah.
Why does she care so much about high school grades? Great question. I don't know. Like,
It was a pride issue. She wanted to be as good as everybody else, or as good as she thought everybody else was, but she didn't want to do the work.
Yeah.
She didn't want to be serious. She didn't want to buckle down, and it was all because, well, I mean, obviously we already said her problem started when her dad hung himself and she found him, but also this guy dumped her. You know, she's got a daddy issue. She's with a dude, and then he dumps her for someone that he perceives as a hotter chick. So yeah, she had problems.
I like the conversation that they have right before Annette almost gets hit with her car. She's like, she's a piece of shit. Why did you ever date a piece of shit like that? I'm quoting this. And he goes, she's just trying to prove something, okay? Just let it go. He's like, she's proven something. She's proven that she's a piece of shit. That's the kind of dialogue that I like in a movie. And then he says for baby, can you just forget about her? And she's like, okay, but she's a piece of shit. Like, I love that. Like, that whole scene is great. Yeah, she doesn't need a GED to kill people. You know, like, also, I love how natural because everybody was. This is my estimation, how natural the grass smoking is in 70s movies where people are just rolling. Like, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It always seems like in modern movies, it's like, oh, look what we're doing. We're having marijuana. Not in these movies. It's just like, yeah, it's just a fact of life.
Anything goes.
Yeah, and I think the marijuana was the least of anybody's worries in this. I love the death scene by the old man who knocks over all the shit on the table. He takes forever to die. As somebody that takes heart pills, that's not how it works. Yeah, there's some great stuff in this.
Sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, that harkens back to the Little Foxes.
Yeah.
With Betty Davis. She did that in that movie.
Mike brought up whenever her boyfriend called her a goddamn stupid fucking broad. Bill and I were yelling that at each other. This is the stuff that you guys miss out on when we're yelling, you goddamn stupid fucking broad at each other. Yeah, this really feels like a hygiene movie, and she has to, you know, like what do you call it? Like she should have said no kind of movie, you know, where there's a square up reel at the end. After all the lunacy she's done, she has to pay. She can't make it out of this movie.
Wild Weed.
Yeah, Wild Weed. Yeah, this is very much though. So I agree with Mike. Yeah, this is old folks made this, and they're also like, you know, back when we made these movies back in the day, we just couldn't have a girl show her titties the whole movie, and like now we're like, I guess we can. So we get the best of both worlds. We get a message, but we also get to see the message happen. And isn't that what exploitation's all about?
That's what I look for in a movie.
Yeah.
This was who thought this up? This is, I mean, I know who the scriptwriter was, but
yeah,
who really? Oh, you know what we need to talk about? I mentioned that this Crown International movies all take place in the realm of Don't Go Near the Park. This was also produced by Larry Foldis, I think is how Fredel and Ray pronounced his name.
Yeah, and he was super young too.
Yeah, he was the youngest producer working in the film industry at the time, and he used to give lectures with David Schmoller, who made Tourist Trap, and a couple other people, luminaries in the genre. But yeah, Fredel and Ray didn't like him.
I've heard, a lot of people didn't because he really was full of himself. But if you were the youngest person in the genre, this is a movie that really feels like, yes, there are other movies like it, but it really feels like a genre of one. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it is a hard-boiled bad girl movie. It's a hygiene movie. It's a sexploitation movie. It could be a beach movie. It could be a teenage movie. It's got 20-something teenagers in it. It's really great. And also it feels like a lot of the other Crown movies of this era played, on USA Up All Night or, cable. This one feels like it escaped a lot of people, maybe just because of how aberrant it is. And yeah, it's out there. And also she sleeps. This really gets one thing right that most movies don't. Two things. One, when there's a movie where a young girl becomes a sex worker, all of her clients always are good looking. Not true in this movie. There's a lot of skeevy dudes that she sleeps with. And a lot of like older guys. And two, like Angel, there's movies like Angel where, she's a sex worker and we never see her Johns and we never see what she goes through. This movie's like, you're going to see it.
Well, yes, it didn't seem like she had a hard time performing this work.
No.
Shall we say. And she seemed like anything goes. But except the bondage. She was not having that. And that guy went too far with her.
Oh, it's the same thing as American Gigolo, to bring that back. Like, that's why he gets upset in the beginning. He's like, don't send me on those kind of weird dates anymore.
Yeah. She had an interesting way of doing business. Plus the Tony guy that was slapping her around, the first pimp she got connected with. That was uncalled for. But he really was old school pimping.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there aren't any. I don't know. I think the nice pimp is a movie fallacy.
What is that thing in front of your face?
Oh, water bottle.
Oh, okay. I thought I did that. And I was like, how did I make
It's my drink it's my Malibu High drink that I brought out of the freezer to drink during this. Yeah, Jenny asked, do we think she still hang out with her high school friends this whole time? I do, because can you imagine her friends are like, oh, he wanted me to touch it. And she's like, oh, well, some guy tried to tie me up and my pimp slapped the fuck out of me. And it's like, her stories can be anybody's stories. Do you know what I mean?
She definitely was more worldly than her friend who ended up dead.
Yeah.
That's what you get for knowing Kim.
Kim's a bad girl to know, but I think the stories that you get from being, I don't think anybody's friends with Kim. Let's say acquaintances with Kim. I think anybody that hangs out with her gets some good benefits. Her mom her and her mom have a horrible relationship.
That was sad.
Yeah. And like there's so much.
All her mom wanted to do was clean,
Yeah.
And just kept fucking with her vision.
Oh.
I felt for her mother.
Yeah.
Do you remember in Mommy Dearest where she makes her scrub the bathroom floor?
Oh, do I? Yeah.
She's like, this floor is already clean. And she's like, do you think this is clean? And she rubs the floor and gets something on her fingers, imaginary dirt or something, puts her hand against Christina and goes like this. And she's like, do you call that clean? Like, what did she scoop up on her fingers?
I think
Kim's mom had that problem.
My wife was doing the kitchen floor one day, and I was like, you need to use a magic eraser and so I got down and did it, handsies and easies, as they say in Mommy Dearest, and just scrubbed the whole thing. And I was like, see, she's like, nobody cares about that dirt. And I was like, they do. It's me. When I was a kid, I would go around. My mom had all these Oriental rugs, and I would get a fork and I would come out the Oriental rugs because I had OCD. And I was like, this is how I clean the house.
Dude, I just did our floors the other day. Once I start, I can't stop. Like, I was just like, I'm just gonna, because the floor was all sticky. I think I spilled something, and I thought I cleaned it up pretty good, and I guess I didn't because my feet were sticking to the floor.
Yeah.
And then once I started, like, I had to do all the downstairs floors.
Same way. I just cleaned the office the other day, and it was like I was late to a meeting because I lost track of time cleaning the office.
But I don't dust 5 times a day like Kim's mom.
No,
that's going too far.
No. Yeah, I think I can see where her mom's trying to. God, deep. Ready? Her mom's trying to bring order to a chaotic life, and over cleaning is something that does it, right? But maybe
we're not supposed to be talking about Kim's mom, but we are.
We are. I mean, I think Kim's mom wants to be a good mom, but she's suffering and she's missing out but I think her daughter's also a bad seed. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
absolutely.
It's like anything, even if her dad was still alive, even if they gave her everything, she's still going to turn out like this.
Yeah, there was something wrong with her because, well, no, I think finding your dad's corpse probably had a lot to do with it.
That had a lot to do with it too. Yeah.
But she admitted that she found this work easier than she thought she would. Remember, at first she's like, I can't be a hit girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, oh, I kind of like the power behind this trigger.
I think she liked the power of once she stabbed that guy with the ice pick. She's early basic instinct early, right? But once she did that and she realized how easy it was to kill a man, which I don't think you can kill a man that easy. We talked about that too.
It's just, yeah.
It just, you touch him once with a magic ice pick and he dies.
I mean, even if you just stuck it in his back, it would take him longer to die if he died at all.
But then once, like, that's what this whole movie is about, is like, yeah, like, it's the path she goes on is quick. Bill and I discussed that same thing, Jenny. Is it days? It feels like days. Like one day she wakes up, she's got the most popular boyfriend in school. She's doing good in classes. And then she finds out that she's losing her boyfriend to another girl that she was friends with, and she has bad grades. And within 3 or 4 days, she's killing people. Like, it's a real quick turn, right? And life comes at you fast, right? And this movie's that. And like, but you know what? Then she finds, I look at the positive things, right? Because she found, now, is her career choices right? Maybe, maybe not. I don't have a problem with sex work. Murder, maybe a little more. But if she's finding joy in it, I mean, do what you love and it never feels like work, right? And I think that she's kind of doing that when she starts killing.
She took that a little too far.
Yeah.
What you love doing shouldn't be that. I'll go so far as to say.
Yeah. Yeah, and the teens seem like they hate everybody. In this, I really, again, this idea, and I know only probably our chat room and a few other people would want a Crown shared universe TV series. I really want it because I want to see like what the rest of the world is there. And it's just like, I love this movie because Mike just brought up like these sun-baked 70s teen movies. I like just a hang movie, like Superfan's kind of like that to me too. And
Sun-baked, that sounds good.
Van Nuys Boulevard, like all these movies are like that to me, where it's just like, because again, I grew up in Pennsylvania and it's cold and it's gray all the time. And I look at these and I'm like, oh, what an idyllic place to grow up. But yet there's still horrible things that happen. And maybe it's why
I think it's crazy that people live like that, like coming where we're coming from.
Yeah.
There are places in this country where it's not cold ever.
Also, that like the idea that like to us, like going to the beach is like a thing you plan for a long time in advance. Even if you go to the beach in Erie, you're really not going to the beach. You're going to Prescott or something. It's really not the beach. But to know that this beautiful beach is there and you can go at any time, like that's crazy to me. Like that's like, wow. And I always say, oh, I don't like the beach, but I think if the beach was available to me, like I would probably like the beach. And
well, you take it for granted, you know. If you live there, it's not exciting anymore.
Yeah.
It's like going to the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh,
which I do love going to. Like that.
You go once and you never have to go again.
I love hearing people that aren't ready for the Warhol Museum talk about the Warhol Museum. That's my favorite. Like, well, there's paintings that have pee on them. And and it's like they're scandalized by it. But the other thing about that, it's just weird, and I think that's kind of what I like about these movies is it's like a vicarious what could my life be like. Not saying that I want to become a sex worker and killer, but you know what I mean, vicariously, like what is this beach life like? And I like these movies more. While I do like AIP beach movies, they're also incredibly fake. Like they don't feel like they could happen. I think
they're fake.
Yeah, well, Buddy Lembeck isn't, but the rest are.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Well, isn't it weird? Do you ever think, like, within 5 years, we went from AIP beach movies to Easy Rider? And like within those 5 years, how much changed in the world? Like, I get obsessed about that sometimes, and this feels like, okay, now we like come down from the 60s, and these are the downbeat things that we're getting. Like this movie feels way more downbeat than something that would come out today. I don't think something like this would come out today. And I'm not saying in that like I bet they'll never make this kind of Blazing Saddles way. I'm saying
Oh
it.
no.
I'm saying
I
this
hate
in a like,
that.
yeah, I do too. It's like, yeah, they could make it, but then they'd have to actually get it into theaters and stuff. But they could still
Yeah.
make it. Yeah.
What about the South Park movies? You
Yeah.
don't think that's as offensive as Blazing Saddles?
If not more so sometimes. Yeah. So,
The Book of Mormon.
yeah, I don't know. People like things like they'd never put All in the Family on today. And you're like, yeah, but Archie Bunker is not the hero of that show. I hate to debase you of this notion.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not championing his positions.
it's just like Joe. It's the same thing. Like, oh, well, Joe's the hero of this movie. No, he's not. He's the bad guy.
He lives right across the street from the last house on the left.
He does live right across the street from it. Oh,
Did you know that?
I read
It's
that.
right across the street from Joe.
Oh, Joe. What are you doing, Joe? Joe got his own album, right? They just made an album of his racist speech. 1972. You're crazy.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I remember reading about it. I don't
Yeah.
actually have the Joe album.
I mean, I feel like if I could get the Mondo Kane 2 soundtrack in a thrift store in Monongahela, me being able to find the Joe record feels doable, right? It feels possible. There's a new antique mall opening up out here too, Bill. That's pretty exciting.
Oh no.
Yeah, the Whistle Stop Antique Mall.
Another place for me to go and look at high-priced shit I can't afford that's like ready to fall apart as soon as you get it home.
Yeah, but I love it. I went past the I rarely leave Monongahela, and we had to go to the dentist last Tuesday, so I drove on 51. I went past the red, white, and blue. How many people a day do you think go through the red, white, and blue belt? It is.
I used to be one of them. I was there like 2 or 3 times a week.
People were parked so far away, like it is. There is so much going on there.
Yeah.
If you're not from Pittsburgh, it's a huge thrift store. It is like a monstrous thrift store that is on the busiest highway where there's always traffic, and it seems like lunacy all the time there. But someone posted on one of the Vinegar Syndrome forums this week that they found all these Vinegar Syndrome movies at a thrift store. People are like, "You're a fucking liar," and I was thinking about it. I'm like, maybe they're right, but isn't that a dream? Like, I don't like. Could you imagine? But then again, I did find Savage Streets at a Thrift King. So
You can find anything at the junk store.
yeah, what's your best find at the red, white, and blue?
I didn't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing I ever found at the red, white, and blue was it was a Prophet 5 synth or something like that.
Oh wow!
It was one of the biggies, like a professional level synth that I think it was like, everybody used it in the 80s, and they had it there for $40. Like, somebody did not know what that was worth, and
Wow.
I didn't even have $40 that week to buy it, but I did call somebody I knew that would be into it, and they ran down and picked it up.
I think that's now that, not that I'm rich, but now that I have enough money where I can make, I can occasionally buy a DVD. Like, that's how I measure richness, right? And like, will this DVD break my bank? No. Cool, I'll buy it. Like, now that I have that, when I go to a used store or Half Price Books, I'm like, oh, I don't need this. Where versus when you have money, you don't have money, that's when you find everything. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Also, I got the other crazy find in Monongahela was a 3-pack of Jess Franco movies for $1. It was a public domain one. Nothing scandalous, but I was like, wow, that's pretty sweet. So yeah. But it's weird. I imagine at some point when I die, a lot of my stuff, if you come to Monongahela, good news, Mom was probably just going to dump it at a thrift store. She doesn't want all these.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I'm like, what's going to happen to these collections?
Yeah.
Like, I know people that have roomfuls and roomfuls of vinyl, and they obsessively collect it. I mean, I get it, because I did that for a long time too. But then I asked them one day, I'm like, when is this going to end? Like, when are you going to stop amassing this collection of music? And you could never listen to all of this music ever. Yeah. And what's going to happen to it after you die? Like, you're only going to be alive probably another 20 years or so,
I watched a YouTube video of the Attic record store.
Yeah.
Again, if you're not from Pittsburgh, it's a huge record store. That flooded, and so much of their stock was ruined. They have no computer system at the Attic for their records. They have Post-it notes that are on the front of the thing, and whenever Someone takes it up and buys it. They take that Post-it note and they order it. Another way, there's like, and they're like,
Yeah.
they love that. They're like, yeah, we don't have computers here. Crazy. But yeah, I keep forgetting that there was like 6 feet of water in there. Everything that was in the basement had to get thrown away.
Oh my God. I still think of it. Not only the basement, like, like 2 or 3 shelves up from the floor. They
You can
had
still
those
see the
glass-
watermarks in there when you walk through a little bit.
Yeah. I can remember things that there were whole sections that I used to go and visit all the time and look and see what they had in there. And I thought, oh, that shit was underwater. The Prince section was right on the floor. So that all got destroyed. And they had really rare-ish sort of promos from the 80s that I should have scooped those up while I had the chance.
Oh, it's such a crazy. My favorite thing about it was like in the 90s, so they had that monkey that lived in the store. They would keep in a crib. They had that spider monkey that had a diaper on. And it was like, yeah, the monkey just walks around the store. What?
Was the monkey at the attic or Stediford's?
It was at the attic.
I think the Stediford's people had a monkey too. Maybe that was a thing.
Oh, man. Maybe they were all training them to file music because that would be a good tool to have.
They're like, yeah, it's a record store monkey.
The thing I liked about Stedford's was Stedford's did not believe in street dates. If like a record came out like 2 weeks, like they fucking it's for sale. Like they did not care.
I mean, as soon as it arrived, as soon as they unboxed it,
they would just cut the top of the box off and just put it on the counter. They didn't.
Here it is.
Oh man, I love that store so much. I would buy so much stuff there, and it was like because also coming from a really small town, that didn't have a record store even, and we had to go to the one small store in our one mall, like to suddenly be in Pittsburgh and there was Ides and as much as bad as they can be, and Stedford's was good though.
Ides wasn't terrible, but
but not bad. Customer service wise, I'm saying.
Oh yeah, they were nasty to you. There, everywhere was nasty. Jim's Records.
Oh my god,
they were really nasty to me in Jim's Records. Like they laughed at everything I bought.
Yeah, that's how I always felt bad about what
I deserved it, I guess.
No, but that's why the internet works because nobody at Amazon's like, I can't believe you like these guys. They're like, no, and then now those places are gone. Now Jim's Records is like a check cashing place or something now, or a taco place.
Yeah, it became Paul's CDs, and then it was something else.
Hep Cat or something Cat.
Yeah, it was a record store though for a little while.
Yeah, and I went past it the other day when I went to the dentist, and I'm like, oh, it's gone now. Yeah, and I said to Becca, isn't that sad? And she goes, I don't care. And I was like, okay. And I went past the West Coast Video that used to be right next to it.
Doesn't know.
No, and I'm like, that used to be a West Coast Video. And she's like, okay. I'm like, they had a very curated adult section in that West Coast Video. They had everything in order of director, which is crazy. I've never who does this? But they did, and now it's gone. It was a beer distributor for a while, and God only knows what it is now. Probably another check cashing place. Whatever goes in Bloomfield. There's nothing in, not that much there.
That whole block downtown where all the cool shit was, like National Record Mart and Hare Krishna, George Aiken's Diner.
Candy Rama was close to
Candy Rama. Oh my God. And all that stuff has been like either flattened and rebuilt or it's just totally unrecognizable.
Candy Rama was one of my favorite places to go because like for $3 you would get a big paper bag of whatever candy you wanted. And it was just like, it was a good, like get out of the office kind of thing. But man, National Record Mart was huge. It was 2 storefronts. It was gigantic. And GW Murphy's too was there, which was great.
GC Murphy's,
yeah.
George W. Bush's Murphy's.
Well, that's I'm from another universe. That's my Mandela effect. But the Oyster Bar's still there.
Yeah, that is still there.
It's amazing.
That's one of the few things that remains. Some of the Market Square places have always been there. Yeah,
I love Oyster Bar actually. That's one of my favorite places to go. No, it's a Noah and Sam Lent place to go. We go there a lot. But it's had I guess the city is cleaned up a bit, but it's like I don't like. We've talked about before. I don't like Target being inside the Kaufman's building.
No,
and Five Below inside the Kaufman's building. What are we doing? Like, can't we?
Somebody posted something on Facebook the other day, one of those scrolling things that stops me, that was a wooden escalator. And I
Oh,
kept thinking of the wooden escalators at Kaufman's. You know,
oh,
they were all newfangled until you got up around like 10 or 11. Then they
yep.
turned into the old wooden ones again.
I liked, like, I think it was on the 9th floor where they had that kind of mall thing where there was a B. Dalton's for a while and there were different places to eat. Like, that
Yeah.
was so cool. Like, I loved that. And I don't know, it just feels like this is every city, right? It felt like there was like so many interesting places to go and shop at and do things to do in the city. And now there's just, I mean, at least Ides is still there, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Ides is still there.
yeah, and like Phantom's still in Oakland. There's still some cool stores, but
I haven't been to Ides in probably years.
I'm
It's
going
been
tomorrow.
years.
I'm hoping to.
I'm surprised they let you in there.
Well, oh, because I punched somebody in there once?
Yeah.
I've hit a lot
It's
of people.
unacceptable behavior.
They gave me a discount for doing it because they hated the kid that I did it to. I pulled him the whole way over a counter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're like, "Hey, that kid's an asshole. You get a discount." I got like a 20% off for a long time. But yeah, tomorrow we're going miniature golfing in the Strip. There's that like indoor miniature golfing.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do that. And I said, "Well, can we get?" Because like her mom wants to stop somewhere down there. And I said, "Cool. Can we go to Ides?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go to Ides." I'm like, "You guys don't have to go. I'll be fine." Like, she's like, "Well, what do you really need out of in Ides?" And I said, "You realize there's 2 floors of Blu-rays, right? Like there's something. Trust me, I will find something. I don't know what it is, but I will find something." Speaking of that, want to see what came in the mail?
Sure. Bring it on.
There are a lot because we did like 2 weeks, right? So I posted pictures on my Instagram. I went to Ann's Consignments in Coppell, PA, which is very close to my hometown. Bill, someday I'm going to take you to this place. It used to be a roller skating rink, and they turned it into a thrift store.
I like it already.
Yeah, and like it looks like a bomb went off inside it. Like there are 3 to 4 shelf facings now with Blu-rays. There's tons of records, but like there's stuff there that you'd be like, you'll see some of the stuff. Some of the stuff like, okay, that makes sense. But some of the other stuff, like, why would they have that? There's a college close to it. I wonder if people sell stuff, whatever. So here's what I was promised, like a Mill Creek set, Undead, the Vampire Collection.
What's on it?
Some stuff you expect and some stuff you don't. So Atomic Age Vampire, right? That's on all Mill Creek sets. 2 versions of the Bat, the 20s version and 26 version and 59. Blood of Dracula's Castle, the Bloody Vampire, Count Dracula and his Vampire Bride, Crypt of the Living Dead, the Devil Bat, Horrible Sexy Vampire. That's why I bought this.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? Kind of an outlier. Horror Express, right?
Not a vampire.
Yeah, Last Man on Earth, maybe a vampire. Nightmare Castle, the original Nosferatu. I heard you've seen the new one, but there was another one.
Oh, it's a masterpiece.
I don't know if you saw the one in the 20s. Have you ever seen that one?
Maybe.
Prime Evil, which I really like. Terror Creatures from the Grave, the Vampire Bat, Vampire Happening. Another reason I bought this because I love.
Oh wow, I've never seen that.
Oh my God, Bill, you're gonna fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you this so you can see it. Vampire's Night Orgy, Werewolf versus Vampire Women, and Witch's Mountain. I mean, that's a good $2 set, right? Like that's some solid $2. All right. So we got the David Harbour Hellboy for $1 on Blu-ray. Probably never even played. This is the one I was really excited about. Body of Influence 2. Come on. Why is this sitting on the shelf of a thrift store? Now let's see. This is the same place where I got my beta House on the Edge of the Park. The TV Funhouse box set. Didn't even know this was a thing with Triumph on it. All right. Sometimes, okay, yeah, they have Supergirl. Of course they do, right? But why would they have Triumph with the Will, the Blue Underground one? I don't know. Got that. And then I have all the Bond movies, so No Time to Die. The Magic Christian. Why? Look at this. I haven't seen one of these in a while. The really cool Godzilla ones that were the metal cases. We got Throw Mama from the Train, Life of Brian. So some good stuff for very cheap. Then I want to thank Phil, who I saw in the chat. Phil sent me some movies in the mail, which was very nice of him. He sent me the Assassination Bureau. which is fun.
Oh, he told me he sent you that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Arrow one. Yeah, I love that movie. And 52 Pickup was made twice by Canon. Once as 52 Pickup, and another time as The Ambassador. So with Robert Mitchum, Brock Hudson together, and Ellen Burstyn. That was really cool. And then Phil sent this, and he made sure to put it on top because he's like, I know your wife's going to open this. So he sent Sex World, and he put it right on top of the thing. I saw the package from him on the porch. She goes, why did Phil send you a package? I'm like, I don't know. She goes, here, I'll open it. I said, I want to save it till the end of the day as like a reward for getting through work. And
very clever.
Very clever. So hopefully, she'll go back and watch this and be like, why did he send you Sex World? And so anyway, he did. Thank you. That's appreciated. Finally, what came in the mail from Labels? We have from Eureka, Legend of the Eight Samurai, which just is coming out in a couple weeks. And this is from 88, The Lady Assassin. Beautiful case from.
I thought you already got that one.
I have another. There's so many Shaw Brothers movies that are very similar, Bill. So
no, I mean, like I thought you showed that on a previous.
No, I just got this one. No, I just got this one. What else we got here? We got The Cat, and this is from Radiance Films. A Certain Killer, that's from Arrow. We got Honruku Proxy War, which is from Radiance Films. And Bill, these are the two most exciting ones. UHD from Arrow. This is out this month. Owl Sweet Alice from UHD.
Ooh.
Right. And Cruising UHD. You know what it doesn't have? All the stuff that didn't make it in the movie.
Right.
Like what if?
We're never going to get that, Sam. Stop waiting for it. Stop pretending you're waiting.
I know. So it doesn't come with a hanky guide, but I think it should for straights like me, so I know what's going on.
Well, yeah, there has to be some kind of guide.
Yeah. I'm excited to report some new things on the site that are starting, Bill. Starting every Sunday at 8 o'clock, starting tomorrow, Murder, She Wrote reviews. We'll be doing Murder, She Wrote from the lens of what Grindhouse stars are in this episode of Murder, She Wrote. And I will answer several questions for each episode of Murder, She Wrote, such as, is Jessica Gedeni in this episode? Does she dress up like an idiot? So it's very much my new thing. It's going to be on Sundays. And then just knocking out reviews because I still have a box of movies that came in to look through. So I'm getting through those. And it's also Jess Franco February. So Jess Franco movie every day. I only have 30 left of his that I've seen. I'm like hunting for some right now that are impossible to see. So we get into TV and doing that. Also, the new podcast episode is up. Last week was Idaho Transfer, which I don't know if you've seen that movie, Bill. It's pretty rad. I really like that movie.
Hey, look what I did.
Ooh, you got it running.
Yeah.
What do we have to do? Prime the pump before these run. And then this week's episode is Invitation to Hell, a Wes Craven movie I like with Susan Lucci in it.
That's the only one you like, isn't it?
Oh, I like the other one, The Spell, or what's the one?
Oh, with the witches.
The witches. I like that one. And I don't know. I'm trying.
Midnight Offerings, or that's something else.
Yeah,
Summer of Fear.
Summer of Fear. Yeah, I like that one too. But also, do you know why I like? I'm sure you know why I like that one. Linda Blair's in it. Yeah, Linda Blair's in it. Yeah. So, so that's going on, and new videos coming out. 2 new videos are going to be coming out over the next few weeks. We have a Village People exploration of the Village People and Can't Stop the Music. And
you don't say.
Yeah, and that's going to feature it's guys guest appearances by Bill Van Ryn and E.C. Nicholas guest appearance speaking on the Village People. And then there is one for Night Train to Terror, and Mike Justice has a guest appearance in that one. So those will be up soon, depending if YouTube rips them apart for copyright reasons. I will tell you, as of now, I haven't got a copyright strike. I test them for a couple of days now because the Bee Gees one took forever to get up there with all the copyright strikes. Go figure. Go do a Bee Gees movie about the Beatles and be upset that you have some copyright strikes. But now my day is at least 4 or 5 people a day yelling at me on YouTube of how can I hate Sgt. Pepper's with the Bee Gees in it. I'm like, yeah.
Do you hate it?
I don't hate it, but I make fun of it a lot because it's. I mean, you can't say that it's a good movie.
How
I
could
mean,
you not? I mean,
yeah,
it's just like such an absurd idea.
yeah. But like people take it. You know, it's the same way that people are like, "Oh, well, you're making fun of Fulci. You don't like him." No, like I can like something and make fun of it.
Look what Mike Justice said. In the
I know he
chat.
did.
That's going too far.
You know, it's fine. It's fine. I know. Mike and I have agreed to disagree on this because he also hates Joe D'Amato and I love him, so it's okay.
I like Scream too. You know that.
I know. I like
Scream.
I like
and
Nightmare.
Scream,
I like Nightmare on Elm Street too, though. So I have an affinity. I better like him because we're about to watch a bunch of them in a row on the same night. So
I know.
you better like him. Nightmares. What kind of food are they going to have? Are they going to have soul pizza like Freddy Pizza, like he has in the movie? Like I want some different offerings this year.
Freddy chicken fingers.
Freddy chicken fingers. Freddy soup. Yeah. Man, I'm hungry now for Freddy chicken fingers. That would be good, huh?
I could dig it.
What if there's just you get a glove and they just like a plastic glove and they just tape chicken fingers on it, and that's what it is. I'm giving them too many ideas. They're making money off us. Is what I'm saying.
So I had a question I wanted to ask you. Like when you were a kid and you used to watch TV, what movies did you always watch? Like you looked in the TV guide and you saw it was on, even though you'd seen it before. What was something? Can you think of something that you would just always, you got excited when you saw it was going to be on?
Any Godzilla movie, any James Bond movie.
But they didn't show James Bond on TV very often.
ABC would do them though. Remember, ABC would do like maybe one a month, or one every like on the ABC Sunday night movie. They'd show. I remember definitely watching Live and Let Die. And my dad making me watch it with him. He's like, "When are we going to see this again? This is pre video, right?"
Yeah.
So that, and then really any Hammer movie, like, I think you're probably the same way. Like if a Hammer movie was on, you're like, yeah, I'm definitely going to watch. What were some of yours?
Well, a must-watch was always Beware the Blob. Every time I saw that in the TV guide, I got excited, and they showed it frequently. It was always on syndicated channels. Also, Horror Express. It was absolutely on all the time, and it was always in the middle of the night, it seemed. And I would stay up to watch Horror Express. I forgot there's a shower scene in My Bloody Valentine.
Oh,
I
yes.
love it.
I know. I'm spoiler for who Bill's favorite person in My Bloody Valentine. You just saw him on the screen there for a second.
The chubby guy.
Yeah.
He's so sexy.
I will say as I got older, like there were certain movies like Gwendolyn and the Valley of the Yik Yak. That was like a Cinemax movie that would, when it was on, I would always make sure to watch it because it's such a weird movie. And there were and then even like when It Came from Hollywood was playing on HBO, like I would go out of my way to watch it almost every time it aired. Because again, that was like, how was I going to see Ed Wood movies? That was my one place to see them. There's some Horror Express in the Night Train to Terror episode too, because same writer, Philip Jordan, wrote both of those. What else did you look for, like other than those two?
Blackula. I said that earlier, but Blackula was what made me think of that question to ask you. Anything that said thriller after it in the TV guide, I was just immediately there.
I would constantly scan the CBS Late movie to see when Kolchak hit the cycle again, because I knew it was like every 2 or 3 years. So I was trying to do, and I was always happy when it would happen in the summer because that meant, that I could watch them and
you could stay up.
My dad would be excited about them too. Like my dad and I talked a lot about Kolchak as a kid, and I was always like super, super excited for it. Mike says his grandmother loved Horror Express. She liked when they saw dinosaurs in the monster's eye.
Asylum.
Asylum.
That's a tough one to see, at least in our area. They didn't. I mean, I did see it eventually, but I think I saw it on TV as House of Crazies.
There was so we lived directly between Pittsburgh and Youngstown. So there were Youngstown affiliates. Like there weren't any, like NBC, ABC, blah, blah. But like 21, which is the NBC affiliate in Youngstown, would show. They had a action theater, it was called, that played at 1 a.m. every night, and they had a different packages than the Pittsburgh channel. So they were a lot heavier on like the oddball kaiju. Do you know what I mean? Where they had like War of the Gargantuas and the in the Frankenstein movie, versus like those didn't play on 43, or like they didn't play as often on Chiller. Like Chiller was mostly King Kong Escapes and the mainstay Godzilla and Toho stuff. So it was always interesting to me to find movies like that, or when they ran at odd times. Like 22 was like, when 22 started airing, I loved that channel because it was just so weird that it just felt like they put stuff on at times where you didn't expect it. And they also like really, it felt like when they first came on that they would play anything. Like they play kickboxing and they play roller derby, like all these whatever syndicated shit they could grab. And I loved that about them. Like I never wanted them to get normal, like Captain Pitt being on and Ghost Host, and like just having like, and it felt like very low rent. Like their commercials looked a lot cheaper than 53, and especially like the affiliate channels always looked like Channel 11 looked to me. 2 and 11 have always been the big time to me, and I guess 4 too. But they always look. Do you know what I mean? They look classy, and like 22 didn't. 22 felt like it was somebody's video camera. And
it was cheap. You know, a lot of they showed car dealership commercials that were filmed on video, and well, everything was filmed on video, but I mean, it's like really cheap looking. And then remember the one John Naretto Kales?
Yeah.
Woo! There was like, it was a big thing to put a little kid in your. I guess people still do that.
But it's crazy because like their commercials, when you go back and look at them, like they just had like not even like a professional. Like it was like just like SE art type. Do you know what I mean? Like block type on these commercials. Like they didn't have logos on them, and it just versus like when you saw a commercial like for Giant Eagle or something on the other channels, it was like, oh, this is a professionally done commercial. It has supers and it looks clean, and like it's just amazing to me. Like so much of they had like beer arena commercials. I remember where it was just like a cart going through the beer store.
I felt that way about WOR from New York too, because they had a lot of commercials for like local businesses like Crazy Eddie, TSS, the sound store. Music.
And Action Park, a lot of ads for that too.
Play World, where prices go so low.
I loved getting, when we got WOR for the first time, it felt like we were getting transmissions from another world as kids that it felt like so far away. Do you know what I mean? It felt like not in our reality. And that's what I loved about it. Like, it was just like, wow, this is so cool. And like, late at night, they had off-track betting on. You could watch horse racing on it. And I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. Like the commercials were Crazy Eddie commercials, like blew my mind as a kid. Like who is this? And the Carvel commercials too, because Tom Carvel's voice was so scratchy.
Yeah.
And nothing was shot in an appetizing way. And
no, I didn't want to eat any of that stuff. I think I even got a Carvel cake once, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I remember seeing it, and they're like, "This is Cookie Puss." That's what his voice said. I like that he always would get in a little, and thank you for your business, like at the end of the commercial. Fudgy the Whale, and all. I don't know. Everything looked super chroma keyed, and just like weird, like video effects. Like nothing was professional, and that's what I liked about those channels. Like 43 felt like that from Cleveland, where Superhost was on too. Those Cleveland channels felt super raw too, and but there was like a joy to them, and it was like kind of like, hey, we're going to put on whatever. Like 43 showed Citizen Kane. Like they had a presentation of Citizen Kane once, and it was like a big deal. And they had like a film scholar like talk about it before it. And I was like, wow. Like, and then, right after that, The Avengers was on, and probably Benny Hill, and whatever else these channels had.
Benny Hill. Yeah. I loved watching Benny Hill. Monty Python was on too.
Dave Allen
was on Channel 13.
Yeah, they had Dave Allen played a lot with Benny Hill, as an Irish comedian. He was on for like 1 or 2 years too here. And then Bizarre with John Biner. That was another big favorite of mine too. I loved Benny Hill though as a kid. And the Joker's Wild was another 53 show that I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get scared when the devil would pop
Oh
up.
my God, yeah. I loved that show and Make Me Laugh with Bobby Van. That was another one. Like they just 53 had a crazy syndication package. They played SCTV before almost anywhere else. Like they just like it just felt like, you know, if they had the budget and they could get it and it was cheap, they'd show it. And that's what I really dug about it. And I kind of miss that today. I know that we can, you know, I have all these movies around me and we can stream stuff, but we talked about before. It's like that fact that I'm putting on, and this is getting curated for me. That's cool.
Tracy said he was drooling into the ice cream.
It did sound
totally
like that.
accurate.
Yeah.
God, he reminded me of Mel Sharples, except
Yeah.
deeper and more gravelly.
His voice sounded so gravelly, like he was smoking for years. Do you remember Doug Llewellyn? I think it was his name. I can't remember his name was. There was a weather guy on WOR that used to like have like an opera voice, and he would just like scream stuff. Do you remember that?
No.
Guy? Oh, I remember. I used to watch the WR News at noon, and I would beg my parents to watch it because Judith Christ sometimes did movie reviews on it, and she was the TV Guide reviewer par excellence. If you got it,
he loved all the good stuff.
If you got a Judith Christ box of your show or your movie and TV Guide, like that called it out to me. I'm like, well, she took the time to watch this and review it. So yeah, I'm going to do it.
This is an important film.
When the large format TV Guide, when it had the whole film section with the capsule reviews, that was, I don't think life would ever be any better than that as a kid. Like when you had, especially fall preview issue. I mean, come on.
Oh, that was a must-have.
A must, yeah.
For like 3 or 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
I was really interested in everything that was going to be on TV. I don't know why, because I didn't watch most of it.
Yeah, Doug Llewellyn was People's Court. I can't remember what the guy's name was for WOR. I'll look it up. I have People's Court in my brain tonight because, you know, the song.
Yeah, because it was in Malibu High.
Yeah. This is the big news, though, Bill. This video that's playing right here.
Yes, sirree. The brand new issue of Drive-In Asylum fanzine is going to drop soonish. Sometime in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be on sale. Special number 7, 1980 yearbook.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff in there.
I'm really excited for this issue.
Escape the current world into 1980, which also had its problems, of course.
Yeah, but I don't know.
They seem somehow different. Although I've been listening to, I say this every week, I've been listening to the old time radio, and CBS Radio Mystery Theater has some of the episodes have commercials in them. And there's stuff in there like the Patty Hearst thing. They're talking Watergate. But, you know, the things they're saying, it's the same shit you hear now. It's the same issues, the same problems. It's just different.
It's crazy to me. I have vivid memories as a kid of getting news from the radio. Like, when John Wayne died, I remember hearing it in the middle of the night and being really upset. Because I always thought of my grandfather as John Wayne. So I was like, oh.
Really?
Yeah. Because my grandfather looked a lot like him. And had like a similar walk and look to him. And like, so when John Wayne died, I was like, oh, it just seemed to me like, oh, well, because, you know, when you're young, when you're like, I think he was like 7 or 8 when he died. And it's like, oh, this like unkillable, do you know what I mean? Like this mountain of a person died of cancer. And it was like a big thing to me when I heard it.
If he could die, I could die too.
Exactly. And like, you know, I loved, you know, we talked about before, like the golden age of radio being syndicated was a great thing too, because it opened me up to like getting to hear a lot of these shows that, you know, I wouldn't get to hear otherwise. I do listen to a lot of them on YouTube's so great to find old radio shows and, you know, get deep into them.
You're probably too young to remember when Elvis died.
Yeah, I was only like 4 or 5. I was 5.
Yeah, I can remember when Elvis died.
I know my aunt was very upset. I remember that because she was a big fan, and I remember her being super upset. That's my main memory of it, and feeling bad for her. I remember when Nixon, and this I'm super young. I was probably 2 or 3 when Nixon left the White House. Because I remember my grandmother was really upset about it, and my dad was really happy about it. And I was like, do you know what I mean? That's when you realize, like, oh, well, not all adults get along on the same political spectrum. I never realized that was like my first lesson in it. And like I only knew like 'cause my parents were hippies and they let me watch Saturday Night Live and stuff. And I was like, oh, like, well, nobody likes. This is my introduction to politics as a kid. Nobody likes Nixon because they make fun of him on Saturday Night Live. And my grandmother's like, he was such a nice man. My dad's like, no, he wasn't. I remember him yelling about it. And I'm like, oh wow, like there's this whole spectrum of things.
Clash.
So, clash, yeah. So, but I was what, 3 or 4. I'm trying to think that probably like 3 Mile Island and John Wayne dying are like the first like major
3
news.
Mile Island, holy shit! Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I remember the helicopters wrecking during the Iran hostage crisis because they played the footage of it during cartoons.
The whole hostage thing was just crazy. Remember when they would they printed an American flag in the newspaper and you were supposed to cut it out and put it in the back window of your car?
Yeah.
And everybody was doing that. It was like the pink ribbon of its day. There's
a cemetery in Sharon, PA, where they put a cross up every day and they kept the crosses up. You can go visit them now. And it's like, wow, that was 44 years ago or whatever. And do people even know what this means anymore? But, still interesting that people did that. It seems like, I don't know, we forget sometimes where people are like, oh, it's, I don't know. People are like, oh, it's so much worse now. And it's like, no, like when you look back, like you said, listening to those stories, there's still some really bad stuff happening then.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I mean, Squeaky Fromm got close enough to Gerald Ford to fire twice at his face and the gun jammed. Do you know what I mean? Like that happened like numerous times, actually. Ford almost got killed so many times. And it's just like crazy. And like people gloss over that. Like, yeah, that really happened. Like there was bad stuff. The world was not idyllic. You maybe think of it because, you're rose colored from your youth, but yeah. Anyways, there was also great. This is a show that rose colors the best anyway, so they're trying to balance.
It seems more benign to you now because you were too young to care when that stuff happened.
I remember being very upset about 3 Mile Island because I had seen.
Well, that's different, yeah.
Because I had seen enough monsters created by nuclear power that I was for sure like a giant bug or something. You know what I mean? Like something was going to happen.
China Syndrome.
Oh God, that movie freaked me out as a kid. So bad.
Yeah, God, it could happen here, couldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Bill, you know me so well.
Here's something to make you feel better.
Oh God, I love it. This movie played in the U.S. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, Conquest did not play in the U.S., which really kind of blows my mind.
I wish that it had, though, because I can't imagine people like, I saw the foggiest movie ever in the theater. The Fog? No, it was called Conquest.
But Gates of Hell was, I'm glad we got Gates of Hell. If we had to get one or the other. I know you love Conquest, but.
I also know that Conquest is very much a acquired Fulci taste by comparison. Gates of Hell is the right pick. Also, Gates of Hell's got some great shit in it. It's got seriously the pickaxe. There's so much good stuff in it.
You mean Twilight of the Dead?
Yes, exactly. Oh, just looking at this ad with the warning thing in it, like. Also, people back then would just didn't know what a movie was about and just buy and go to a movie. So I like to think about older couples or any couples just on a date and like, oh, we'll go see this Gates of Hell. I like a scary movie, and then they're just barraged by Fulci's vision.
The drill scene alone is enough to change your life.
Yeah, it's like, well, first they put a drill into a girl's head, and then somebody puked all their guts out.
I hate when that happens.
How did it end? Well, it really didn't.
It just stopped.
It just stopped.
It didn't end. Like Scream Blackula Scream. It just stopped.
What is this High Test Girls?
High Test Girls is an X-rated film from Germany. I'm not sure how X it was, but it was originally X in the United States.
Is this like one of the Schoolgirl Report kind of movies?
Yes.
Okay,
it was kind of like that. It's not, but it's similar. And Calendar Girls is a schoolgirl movie.
Yeah.
And they were both German, but Centerfold Girls, was a good old US of A film.
Oh, Erwin Dietrich directed High Test Girls. Okay. Oh, and you know who's in it? Bridget LaHaye's in it. Wahi, is that how you say her name? Yeah, she's in
But
it.
is she? Because most of the actresses in that were like pseudonyms that you just couldn't figure out who they were.
It says on IMDb that she was in High Test Girls.
Oh, okay.
It's called Sex Schweden Valer Tanksdell.
Yeah, it was about you go to get a fill up, and while they're filling up your car, you're screwing somebody in the garage. High Test Girls.
Ooh, Nadine Pascal's in it too, who's in a Jailhouse Wardress and Zombie Lake. Yeah, and
Zombie Lake
and Sodomania. Yeah,
Sodomania.
well, the not the adult '80s one, but the
okay.
Jess Franco's Sodomania.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not that. Wow, this is pretty exciting, man.
Anyway,
it's crazy that played in the U.S. Yeah, the name. This one? Oh, I love this movie, Bill. I really do. I know we showed this early on, maybe too early in the show, because I would wish we'd show this again. This movie is so fucking weird. Right? Like when you see it, you're like, oh, it's going to be a slasher, but you're like, no, he has a ghost family in the woods, right? Like I think about this movie a lot.
Yeah. Did we do this on the show?
We did it, yeah.
Oh.
I think we did it when it was hard to find and it was up and we're like, oh, we got to do this.
Well, anyway.
We should do it again.
We can't do a movie we've already done, and there's so many movies we have yet to do.
I know.
We still haven't done the Worm Eaters. We've been talking about doing the Worm Eaters for a long time.
We haven't done The Hunger.
I guess we never did. No, I would love to watch The Hunger again.
Yeah. Oh, The Hunger.
I didn't like it the first time I saw it. I was like, this is like a light vampire movie. But now I fucking love it. Yeah. I was wrong.
You had to age into this one again.
I guess I wasn't ready for The Hunger.
Yeah.
The book's better.
Yeah.
The story in the book is better. But the movie is just amazing for what it is. Mm-hmm. It does its own thing in its own time. Okay, Daddy?
Yeah.
Do you know what movie this is? I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm trying to think who directed it.
Oh, the guy who made The Demon, Percival Rubens, directed it. Mike Justice will know who he is. But this was another South African film, and it's a post-apocalyptic movie about a family that's like holed up.
Yeah, I have seen it.
Apocalypse, and
Gary Lockwood's in it.
This cannibalistic biker gang is after them.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's all about like the farm, and like they try to keep their family farm like where the kids don't know that the world has ended, but these bikers keep intruding. Yeah, it's okay. It's not. I think you're like, oh, it's Australia and it's the end of the world. And you wanted to? Oh, is this a Phil report on ET?
Yeah, this was a shout out to Phil that I clipped. Apparently, they showed ET on TV in like 1982. Somebody bootlegged it and showed it on 2 channels of the home box office receiver, which I don't know. I didn't know it had more than one channel for one thing, but it was only in this area. Somehow somebody hacked into it. Reportedly.
I learned a really wild fact this week. I reviewed one of Joe Zasso's movies this week, Maligno, which is his he made it when he was 15. It's a shot on video, pretty much Creepers. Because he had just seen that and he had just seen Demons, and he was like, I've never seen Italian movies. I have to make my own. And I said, had you seen Suspiria? He said, yeah, Donald Farmer sent me a copy of it. And it was a bootleg of it filmed off somebody's wall that somebody videotaped. And that's how he saw Suspiria for the first time, which I'm like, wow, that is awesome. Oh my God. I love this movie so much.
Do you? I was going to ask you.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's so good. It's got Richard Mall in it.
That's right. Yeah.
As all 80s movies must have Richard Mall in them.
It's better if you have Richard Mall in your 80s movie. Yeah.
He's in Night Train to Terror twice. 2 different roles, and there's somebody playing him in the other one because he wasn't around for some of the pickups. So when you see a hairy armed man in the first story, that's not
well, he was in more than one story in Night.
Yeah, he's in both stories. Yeah, he's in the first and third stories. I love Crawl, but Crawl reminds me of everybody. There was this rush in the 80s to be like, we're going to make the next Star Wars. And like, Crawl's so weird. Crawl's like very dark. Characters get killed off, like good guys. Like it
I
seems.
don't remember this movie yet.
Oh my god, Becca loves this movie, so we've watched it several times. The glaive, the weapon that you have to pull out of a volcano. There's like a giant evil space church. Like Crawl seemed like it was going to be a big movie, and it's not. But
It looks like he throws those Jeepers Creepers things.
yeah, very much.
Probably
yeah.
made out of bones or something.
Yeah, but it's cool. I like Crawl. I wish it was better. Oh, there, Mike Preston is Jared Sin.
These are out of order. I tried to make them.
I like that they named that movie "The Destruction of Jared Sin." It's like spoiler warning.
Yeah,
Jared Sin gets destroyed. I saw the trailer for it in the theater, and oh, Bill, why this is so nice. Oh,
speaking of spoilers, right in the ad campaign.
oh,
God,
yeah. I love the poster for this because it is nothing that happens in the movie.
yeah.
That she's not the girl in the movie. His hair is much shorter. Like it's great. Speaking of Red Brown movies that I love, this is probably foremost. Wow.
This is the movie where the two girls fight over him, and then one of them's dead. She's like, "No, you should be with the other girl."
Yeah,
we did that on this show.
Oh yeah, and also like she gets conked in the head. Like he kills off nearly every race of people that he meets accidentally. It's so good.
She dies from a blow to the head.
Yes,
she?
Yes, she does. Yeah, when the blue cavemen attack.
You know what I just watched that has something just like that in it? I've been obsessed with the ghoul segment of the Monster Club lately.
Oh, yeah.
It's so creepy. Like, I don't know why I was not freaked out by that the first time I saw it, but I've watched it like 3 or 4 times in the last couple of days. And the girl in that, they throw stones at people, and like they're really good at it because she tells them that they kill rabbits that way. They hunt for animals that way, and they kill her with a stone that hits her head, but she doesn't die right away. It's just like like there has to be a dying speech.
There's just a lot of Monster Club I love the strip section.
It's amazing. We need to do that on the program.
We definitely need to. That's like, because it's kind of sort of, it's not an Amicus movie, but it's a lot of the same people.
Milton Subotsky still did it, but it was no,
but I really like it. Like I don't think it's as good as Amicus, but it's still fun.
It's really good.
Yeah, let's definitely do.
It's like the stories don't go together all that well, I don't think. And
it's got good music in it though. Like all the songs are good. Yeah, and I like the stripper. I like that the club is very much like the cantina from Star Wars of monsters.
Yes.
And
they're about as convincing as the cantina characters too.
This is my favorite thing about Star Wars, right? And old Star Wars is what I'm saying. Is like you can tell when they ran out of money for costumes, and it's like, let's put a werewolf in a spacesuit. Like those are the monsters I like in Star Wars. Like I don't need a giant CGI thing. Just give me Greedo's like a woman wearing a fish head. You know what I mean? Like these are the monsters I want.
I just watched the original untouched Star Wars, that fan thing that somebody restored in 4K, an original 35 millimeter print, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
that's everything I loved about Star Wars the first time I saw it. Is it was campy, it was cheap. He obviously had no idea that there were going to be more stories. I don't care what he says.
They went back in and added that episode 4 thing in like after.
Yeah, I mean that was only. I mean, it became so huge. I understand why they did it. I mean, why like try and make another movie as good as that when you could just keep exploiting that?
Yeah, but I think about movies like that, and maybe again it's because I was a kid, but I know like coming home from seeing that in the theater and Superman are the 2 movies I can think of as a kid where I was like out of this world excited.
Yeah,
like where I was like, this has like changed my life and changed my, oh my god, look at this ad. I like this movie. I like this movie a lot.
It's weird though.
It's very weird.
It's for a slasher, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's really strange.
It's got a lot of. I love the type in this.
And
They all went
it's
in.
almost like a generic packaging.
Yeah, but the party was great on Girls' Night Out.
Well, look how the word few is in a different font.
That's what I like. I like that walk-up in it. And I like that never has terror been so real. Like, we don't even need that. This would be a better ad. It would flow better if that wasn't in there.
This was the second release for this movie. It was first released at the end of 1982 as The Scare Maker. But then it came back out. I guess it didn't do very well. There was sort of like a test run.
Girls' Night Out's a better name for it.
I think so too, but it also doesn't tell you that that's a horror movie.
Mm-mm.
Like if you just saw that title without the ad, you wouldn't know you were going to see a slasher movie.
You were thinking you were seeing a movie like The All Nighter with Susanna Hoffs,
where Carol Ann from Mommy Dearest is a murderous character in a mascot suit. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Oh, Girls' Night Out. Oh.
You know what movie this is?
This is the last horror movie.
Yes, the last horror film with Joe Spinell and Caroline Munro.
I just got the Severin 4K of it. I like this movie a lot, but I love the conceit that Joe Spinell and Caroline Munro could be a couple. It makes it makes me feel hopeful.
Like you had a chance with Caroline Munro.
I don't. No, I couldn't even talk to her. Joe Spinell had no problem. His characters had no problem talking to her.
Well, he was following a script.
Yeah, I know.
He knew what she was going to say, no matter what he said to her.
Yeah, but I love them. Like, I love them together. They're my dream.
Yeah. Look at the shout out to Maniac and the tagline.
Oh, I know. Dude. I love that. I love that this looks kind of like. Is this like a Scanners movie? Is this like, what is this?
It looks more like Looker.
Yeah, Looker. That's 100%. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's Looker, and it's like, wow. Yeah,
she's got it all. Yeah, she's got it made. She's a looker.
It's like, oh man,
I want it. I want
it. I saw you post this week, and I was like so excited. I'm like, yeah, Joe Spinell. Oh.
What else do we have here?
Oh well, yeah. MGM pickup of there's Menachem Golan and Yoram Globus' names in this. We showed this. This is, I think, a perfect movie. Like, I realize it's ridiculous. I realize that the effects are cheap, but like, this is a movie that if I saw it as a kid, I would lose my mind over.
It's got a Flash Gordon thing going.
It totally does, and like all the weird stop motion stuff. That Lewis Coates knows how to make a movie.
Lewis Coates.
If I ever met him, I'd be like, "You're Lewis Coates, Luigi Cozy."
Oh, there's an egg.
Oh, an egg.
That was Luigi Coatsy, wasn't it?
It sure is. Yeah, Contamination. Yeah.
Lewis Coates.
Love him. Oh,
and I had to show this too.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that just a little bit of Ferrigno is enough to change you forever.
When he was on King of Queens, like, because he's his next door neighbor on King of Queens, that was probably like overload. You're like, wow, like, whatever happened with him and Kevin James?
I was hoping there would be a hot tub scene with him and Kevin James.
Yeah.
There was not, sadly.
Yeah.
Kevin James is a dick too.
Yeah, I know. But
oh well.
I like Ferrigno will charge you for anything. If you even talk to him at a convention, but that's $40.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Yeah. But he's got to make his money, right?
Yeah. So what? You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Make your money.
What do you want? Give it to free?
Yeah. I'm not coming to this convention.
Pay for it, buddy.
Yeah. Not coming to this convention for my health. There's a convention coming up, a horror movie convention coming up soon, Bill, in April here.
Yeah.
Horror Realm's coming up. So I'm very excited about that because Lisa Strage is going to be there from Prom Night 2. And I will definitely be getting something autographed. Who knows what?
I heard that Elizabeth Berkley's coming to
I know.
Pittsburgh. What is it? Pittsburgh Comic Con?
Steel City Con, yeah.
Steel City Con, sorry.
Yeah. So, it's probably
I don't know. That might be enough to get me to go out to the Steel City Con.
I would really like just to get her to do. I want to find out how much it would be for her just to do a bumper for the show. I'm just saying like one or two Showgirls lines. I hear if you're appearing on the Drive Asylum double feature. That ain't dancing. I want her to say something like that, and that would be like worth it.
It has to be a Showgirls line.
Yeah, whatever it costs.
We are going to do that movie on the program one of these days.
That was our dream Halloween movie. We thought people are going to be really mad if that's our Halloween movie.
It can't be the Halloween.
Yeah, because they'll be like, "Oh, these guys love horror. They're going to show a horror movie," and we're like, "Hey, here's Showgirls."
No, there's a better way to do Showgirls any other time than Halloween.
We'll figure out when it is. But yeah, that's a definite a must.
I already told Mike Justice he will be on the Showgirls.
I mean, he better be on
program.
Yeah,
Showgirls problems. Let's talk about our Showgirls problem.
Oh, I've never gone to a Showgirls show. So
I haven't either, but that's not a surprise.
We should do that. That would be fun. We'll do the show from Vegas. Say, hey, everybody, come out to Vegas. We'll do the show. Yeah. Guys, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. We're on in Japan. One person was just in Japan. It's very exciting. We're back.
I'm really sorry about the technical difficulties too. It's really annoying, but I think I have a handle on it. I know what I have to do to make the show happen now. So we will not have this issue next week.
The 15th. We're back.
Yeah, not next week. Yes, you're right.
And we'll be doing Just Before Dawn, a movie that I forgot George Kennedy's in. And
I didn't.
Yeah, and My Bloody Valentine. It's funny. I know My Bloody Valentine's a really big slasher, but they didn't have it at my video store growing up. Like, for some reason.
What?
They didn't have that and The Burning. So both those movies.
I didn't see The Burning either until much, much later. That was like Anchor Bay years.
Yeah, and I'll say that My Bloody Valentine's a lot better than The Burning.
Absolutely. You know, that's like my secret shame is I hate The Burning.
I don't like it either. I like the effects.
Terrible.
I think the effects are great, but I don't like The Burning.
It was so stupid. Like that part where the killer is lurking in a canoe.
Yeah.
And leaps into a standing position with those shears out of a fucking canoe. Like, canoes are not deep. There's no way he could be laying down like that. Well, anyway, you get it.
I wanted to love The Burning because I had obviously the Savini Grand Illusions book, which is just pretty much here's how I did The Burning. That's what that book should have been called. And I was so excited to see it when I finally saw it. I was like, this did not live up to what I wanted it to be. And I felt like, am I the problem with The Burning? No. It's good to know I'm not. But My Bloody Valentine definitely is a great movie. And I even like the remake. Maybe because Tom Atkins is in it.
I like the remake too. I didn't think it was bad.
No, I think it's fine. Like it's good.
And I love that they switched the killers because you think you know who it is. And it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I really dig it. So I'm excited to talk more about it. Excited to have Jen on. Jen's always awesome when she's on. So,
wonder if she'll go all the way to the second segment.
I hope so.
I bet she won't.
We'll see.
Here it is. It's 3:45 in the morning. And I can barely stay awake.
Yeah, well, let's go to bed and together, and we'll see you guys. We're in the same house. It happens sometimes.
People are going to talk.
Yeah, I know. It's going to happen.
Well, we keep talking about soft swinging, so
we're talking
that's when we let
couples.
Other people in on the action.
Yeah, we watch other couples. We watch Carol Monroe and
Joe Spinell.
Yeah. That's what we'll do.
Nicholas Worth from Don't Answer the Phone. Isn't that who was in that? It's late.
Yeah. It's too late for my memory card to work properly.
All right, so come back and hang with us February 15th with me, Sam, Jen Upton, and for some Valentine's Day fun. Till then, be well, be safe. See you in a couple of weeks.
See you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. admitted without parents or guardian.